Hi everyone, it's me Ella from ellakane.com. So if you're here, come say hi to me. So let me just check and see everything is good and you can hear me, okay? All right, so I'm going to be talking about how I picked my niche, even though I didn't know anything about it, okay? So we're going to talk about it when I went back down as a freelance writer, okay? So just say hi, and if you have any questions about your niche or topics, just let me know, okay? Because I know that a lot of people, when they email me, they ask about, discovering a niche topic. And a lot of people are afraid because they think that they don't have any, topics, or they don't know what to write about, or they think that their background isn't, related to what they want to write about, right? So I'm going to tell you my story about how I discovered my niche. Right now, my niche is digital marketing, okay? And I'm going to talk about my background and, what happened during that whole time and how I came to that niche topic, because I would have never known that that would be my niche when I first started as a freelance writer. All right. Hey, Patrice, glad you can make it. If there's anyone else here, just, say hi, ask your questions about your niche, about freelance writing niche, freelance writing questions if you want. I'm just here to help you. All right. So if you don't know much about me, I started freelance writing around 5 years ago. All right, that's when I came on to the internet and had my, website and everything up and running around 5 years ago. My twins were toddlers at the time, and I was able to work around their nap schedule. So I was able to work when they napped during the day and when they went to bed at night. So that gave me roughly 4 to 5 hours a day, every day. And I worked on the weekends as well. Once my twins dropped their one day a nap, I was able to do some type of, you know, blogging and writing and all that during the day in 20 minutes blocks of time. So I would set up an activity for my twins. Sorry, my head just like so I'd sit them down, do some activities, and then I'd do an outline and do a little bit of pitching, all that stuff for 20 minutes, and then go back to mom mode, and then pick another 20-minute, thing, and then, maybe go to the park and have them play while I sit on my phone and write an outline. So I did that during the day, and then I worked really hard at night, about 3 hours at night. Oh, hey, Matthew, glad you can make it. All right, so that was sort of what I was doing as far as gaining clients and marketing my stuff. But what did I do? How did I start this? What niche did I even start? In the very beginning, I was told, right? I learned from other freelance writers. I learned by reading other people's experience about freelancing in general, that they picked niches depending on their experience and what they know the most. Okay, that's what I gathered from reading those posts. And so I picked exactly that. I picked my experience. My education is in psychology. So I thought, okay, great. If I could write about psychology stuff, I would be tickled pink. I love it. I love, human behavior, all of that stuff, which later on it will connect with copywriting actually, but I'm not there yet. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pick psychology. I know that. I was a new mom. So I was interested in parenting, in natural parenting stuff. And I was also interested in health, natural health. Those things I was very keen on in the beginning. I mean, when I was pregnant, I was using, natural hair dyes. I was using henna for my hair dye. I was, using a lemon. I made my own lemon face soap to wash my body. Like I was very wanting to be as natural as possible during my pregnancy, and that carried on with my twins. Washing in natural soaps, their bodies and their clothes and whatnot. So I felt that I had a good understanding of natural health topics and parenting topics. So I thought, okay, great. I picked a couple of niche topics, and I'm going to market that. I'm going to promote that. I'm going to see if I can gain some clients in those niche topics. And the first thing I did was write samples, but I didn't really write samples that aligned too much in with my niche topics. I wrote one about mental health. So that fit nicely with psychology. Again, I was really gung ho on psychology as my niche because I have a bachelor's in that. I mean, I really love psychology. I really love all that. So I wrote on Psych Central. I think it was Psych Central or Psych Today, one of those psychology sites. I wrote about improving your mood, right? But then I didn't want to have all my samples. For some reason, I thought I didn't want to have all my samples just in that niche. I needed to show that I could write in different topics. So then I wrote one about like educational based, like I think it was culinary school, like something just like I thought like, oh, maybe some kind of business topic, educational based stuff, like some generic thing about like, if you're interested in culinary school, what are the steps to get into that and da 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 da. Like I was just sort of thinking of this sort of like general type of content that I could put up there and see maybe some businesses in whatever niche could see that, well, she can write about that. She could possibly write about my niche. Again, as a brand new freelance writer that didn't have a mentor, that didn't, take any courses, that didn't know anything. That's what I did. And then I wrote another one on, actually was researching and this is where it starts to get the ball rolling. I was researching as a freelance writer, ways to market my business, getting to know on the online world. I wasn't on Twitter. Right? So one of the first things I did was research more about social media and Twitter and things like that, and LinkedIn. I didn't even know what LinkedIn was at the time. I wasn't too familiar with Twitter as a way to market my business. So I was just learning all these little things. And I found out that one of the blogs that I was reading accepted guest posts. So I wrote a sample. I was like, let me try this guest posting thing. Again, I researched about guest posting, about contributions and what this all means and all that. And so I wrote about that. So I can probably show you. Hold on, let me find one of my posts. All right, so this was one of my posts right here. Where is it? Right here. So see, it was published November 29th, 2014. All right. So this was pretty much one of the first things that I wrote as a brand new writer, freelance writer. Okay. And here it is. The top 3 mistakes millennials are making on social media. Again, I was learning about what topic? Social media. I was learning about what millennials were doing, what are the do's and don'ts of tagging on Twitter. I was learning all these things. And so I thought it would be relevant. Well, why don't I just write a post about this? And that's what I did. Oh, hey, Lisa, glad you can make it. All right, so I had that. I told you, was it Psych Central was the other one. So again, I was researching psychology stuff and I was trying to find blogs that you can contribute to, right? So here's my other one right here. So 4 proven ways to uplift your mood, right? So there was another one. This was last updated 2018, which I did not update this. So I did not go in and update this. So, but this was written in 2014. So look, it doesn't even have my I didn't even have a Gravatar back in the day. Do you see? Like I was so brand new to this, but I thought, okay, I can do this. I can write this piece. I can submit it and see if I can get it published. And it was published. And then I wrote about gut health. A Nation of Moms was my other guest post. I think this was one of my very first ones. Let me see. Here's A Nation of Moms. See if I can find me. I think it's under gut health. Let's see. No, that didn't work. Well, I have one for A Nation of Moms. Let me see if I can put my name. Here it is. Again, that was published in 2014, October. Okay, so I started freelance writing in August, September. Learned about social media, learned about these blogs that I was reading, learned that I could contribute to them and put my samples. Like I knew I needed some samples. I knew I needed some writing. I needed to get out there. And that's what I did. Oh, hey, Nichelle, glad you can make it. We have recording. Yes, this will be recorded too, for sure. All right, so those were my 3 samples that I wrote about as a brand new blogger, right? So if you have any questions, just let me know. But that's how I started. That's exactly how I started. It had nothing to do with the niche that I'm writing in now. So how did that start unraveling itself? Again, it started unraveling itself by me just wanting to know more about social media. I signed up for LinkedIn, and I signed up for Twitter. So I started learning more about those platforms. And the more I was doing that, I found other places that I could write. So another one was Tweak Your Biz. So I had another guest post on that site about blogging in general, about content marketing, things like that, things that I was learning about, right? And so I had some pieces there that were about social media, but it wasn't clicking. Like I wasn't really doing anything with it. Any kind of jobs that I looked into were about my niche. So anything that was parenting related, health related. I picked up some health gigs. I didn't pick up any parenting gigs, but I picked up a couple health gigs. So I was able to land that. But then I got someone reached out to me for some editing for a social media blog. And that's how it really started. I did some editing for them, and then they asked me to do some writing for them about social media. And I was like, okay, like I'm going to give it a try, right? And that's what I did. I started writing about social media on their blog. Let's see if I still have it in my portfolio. Here. So this one, Clear, was my first one here that I wrote about regarding, social media and all that stuff. So this I was able to write about again. And I did that from researching. They also helped me with an outline as well. So I had no idea what blogger outreach was. I had no idea how to create a blogger outreach campaign. But I was very interested in writing about this topic. I didn't know at the time that this was called digital marketing. I just knew it was about blogging and social media. And I liked those 2 topics. Hey, Patrice. Okay. So during that time, did you already have a writer's website, or did you just focus on guest blogging, creating samples in the beginning? That's a good question. No, I did have, in the very beginning, before I was guest posting, I was trying on iWriter, on a content mill. I was trying to get gigs on Guru, which is like Upwork. So I was doing all that, but I wasn't landing any gigs. I wasn't getting any bites at all when I was pitching. And so then I decided, you know what, let me try and create a writer website. I had my husband help me create the website because I knew nothing about development and website development. So he gladly created a simple website. And I just put on my my samples on that page, and I had that going. All right. So I started blogging. So I started writing about just blogging topics in general. If you go back to my Elna Kane blog, go back to like page 1, you'll see that I have a lot of blogging topics. Because again, I was learning about that topic and I was falling in love with that topic. I really, really wanted to know more about blogging. I wanted to know about this whole world of online writing. And I felt that blogging was online writing and I needed to know more about that. I wanted to know the marketing aspect of that. I really wanted to know that. And that helped me market my own business, right? I was learning these topics. I was writing it on my blog. I was guest posting and I was pitching. And like I said, I landed a health gig. My first gig was for Wheels, which again had nothing to do with digital marketing, had nothing to do with my samples. I gave them my samples of, Psych Central, of Social Media Today, of A Nation of Moms. And they still hired me. But that was over 5 years ago. So things are different now. I highly suggest that if you do create samples, to create all in one niche topic so that you can show your credibility in that topic, or at least pick 1 or 2 topics to write about in different niches. That's what I suggest. But yeah, I did have my writer's website while I was pitching, because when you guest post pitch, one of the greatest assets you can have is your is your author bio. And this one didn't even have my author bio on it, which wasn't the greatest. But this one, do you see? Again, I put here, you can find more about Elna at Innovative Inc. I put a link there, but they took it away. But I have all this. And this author bio for my psychology background, I put that I have a BA, that, that I live in Canada. Like my background is in psychology. I help children with autism. I was showing my credibility, even though this has nothing to do with, I'm a freelance writer for digital marketing brands or a freelance writer for psychology tools and services. I didn't have that credibility, but I showed my credibility in different ways. And that's what I did. I also helped adults with brain injury using occupational therapy tactics. So I had a lot of experience in that respect. And I felt that author bio would help with this blog post. And then my other one for gut health, I have a completely different author bio right here. This one has a link to my site. Again, I used my educational background. This was my first blog post. I felt that I needed to show my credibility in the topic that I was writing about. So I'm a former special education assistant, and I spend my days running around with my twin toddlers. This is a blog for moms. So I need to show that I'm a mom, all the while pursuing a freelance writing career. Now, again, this would be a big mistake. I made a lot of mistakes as a brand new freelance writer. I would never show that I was a brand new writer in my author bio. I would command my author bio to show that I am a freelance writer. And, I've probably been doing it for many years, but you don't know that. But I'm going to show you right here that I've been doing this, and I'm a freelance writer, and I'm a professional writer, and you can hire me right now, kind of thing. But I was new. So I put that in there. Oh, hey, Monica, glad you can make it. Hey, she says, I have several lifestyle, health, food, recipe development, inspirational, and I feel that overlap, trying to focus on just a few. Great. Good to know for sure. Oh, and I didn't even show you the author right here, what I was telling you about, but this author bio right there. So did I even show you everything else that I was talking about? I had that one. And then this was the other one right here. It says, Northern Canada, my background in applied behavioral analysis. Again, so each author bio that I felt needed to be customized for that blog that I was writing on, which is true. If I was guest posting, I do customize it. I have a guest post on Twiniversity. It's not a guest post, so it's a client post. How do you spell Twiniversity? There it is. This was a guest post, but I finagled him and we ended up doing a client post for this one. But this one, so my author bio for this one's a much recent one, 2016, has a completely different bio. Right here. Elna Kane is a first-time mom to twins. Again, this is a site for twin moms. Once she was able to get uninterrupted sleep, coffee, and a few minutes herself, she started freelance writing and never looked back. When she's not writing for her clients or when her twins are sleeping, she's helping other work-at-home moms. So this author bio is specifically to market Twins Mommy, my other blog. So I was okay being very fluffy in my author bio, and just being more overly have an overly personal kind of personality in this author bio because I wanted them to click to Twins Mommy and to follow me on that blog, right? I didn't want to really promote my freelance writing business on this blog, and I don't even have a link to it. So again, each guest post that you have should have a goal of what you want and how you want to market yourself. So use that author bio wisely. Oh, hey, Debbie, glad you can make it. So I'm just sharing my story about how I looked into digital marketing as a niche. And like I said, I had my 3 samples with my niche topics that I thought this is what I'm going to do. I landed a couple of clients, but I really liked the whole blogging and social media aspect. And I picked up a client in that niche. I showed you the client piece, and then that got the ball rolling. I was able to land another client, a big client in the digital marketing niche. And ever since then, I started tailoring my portfolio to only show those topics that I really wanted to write about. And I was able to land clients in that niche because I had proved myself. Look, I have I have a piece on, Blogging Wizard. I have a piece on Clear. I have a piece on SendLane. I have a piece that talks about marketing aspects and blogging. You should consider me for your blog about digital marketing because I can help you with that content, right? So it was baby steps, but that's the road that I took, and my niche revealed itself. So I know a lot of people are they get scared because they don't know what niche they're gonna write in, so they stop. They don't do anything. They don't take any action because they don't know what niche. Pick something. Pick a couple of topics. One of the biggest things that I want you to focus on when you decide your niche is to look at the client. Please look at the client, because you can't just pick a creative niche like the paranormal activity. I would have to dig deep to find tools and services that have an online presence that use, marketing online to get leads, for them to have a freelance writer to write for them. Do you understand? Like, you have to sort of think that way. But if you like camping, if you like gardening, well, yeah, I bet you there are magazines in that niche, and there are websites dedicated to, greenhouse, or what's it called? The water garden stuff, and koi fishes, and all the supplies for gardening, and all the supplies for camping, that I could guarantee you that there's going to be some kind of content marketing strategy that they're using, whether it's their blog, whether it's social media, whether it's their email list, right? That's what you have to start thinking when you start thinking about your niche topics. Hey, Patrice, do you have a blog post or tips for outlining for a blog post or on writing samples? Yes. Elna Kane has a writing sample post. I do have a post here called How to Write a Writing Sample for a Job. Okay. I dive deep into this topic. Okay. So take a look at that and see if that helps you, Patrice. I do go, like, I give you even my a screenshot of all that. I go into that. It's over 1,000 words, maybe 2,000 words. So take a look at that and see if that helps. I also have another post right here. This is where you can publish your samples. If you don't have a blog, or even if you do have a blog. So, oops. Yeah, this one right here. So yeah, look at your client, look at the business and the brand behind your niche to see, is it viable? Can I get a writing job because they have a content marketing strategy online? Like, you have to sort of think that. I get a lot of emails from people that say, they love these topics that I'm not sure would make really good freelance writing gigs. Although I do have a blog post on, and I really try to help you guys with this creative stuff. And I do have a blog post, and I am, trying to write. I add bits and pieces, but this one right here, 67 creative writing freelance jobs. Okay. So I do dive into those creative topics because I really wanted to help you. I'm like, can you really get a gig in these niches that you guys are asking me? So I really wanted to see. So like art, for the longest time, I thought, well, no, you can't really get a freelance writing job with art. But you know what? I dove right into it, and I'm like, well, I think you can. You can definitely with these magazines. So a lot of these are magazines, but there are ways to find actual businesses in the art, like in the art niche, to find gigs, right? So I have art here. I have gardening. We talked about gardening for sure. Cars and things like that. So automotive and cars. Again, people are interested in motorcycles and like automotive stuff and cars. And I'm like, well, I did write for wheels, so it is possible, right? It is possible. So maybe you can write for like magazines. But you know what? I think I even have here, one of these is there's wheels right there. Here, Elephant Insurance. So like insurance companies, right? So this is not a magazine, but why don't you hit up insurance companies and see if for cars and see if you can write it for their blog. I'm sure they have a blog, and maybe not, right? So you can pitch to them. So again, you got to sort of think about that when you start thinking about your niche topic. I can post that post too if you're interested. So yeah, so that was, oh, my hair, I swear. It rained all day today. And so like yesterday, I'm like, oh, my hair is so nice. It's so pretty. And then like today it rained. I had to go outside, do grocery shopping, and like my hair now is all frizzy. Oh, well, the joys of hair. So that's how it's all started. And once I landed one client in the digital marketing niche, it was much easier to land another client and another client and another client. And then once I tailored my writer website to only focus on that niche, I was able to increase my rate. I was able to get really good gigs with really big brands in my niche. All right. So it all worked slowly, but over this 5 years, I can now say that I'm a professional writer in the digital marketing niche. I feel, confident that I can write about, email marketing. I can write about blogger outreach. I can write about content marketing and blogging and social media and Pinterest marketing. And I have on my clients' blogs, I have written about all of that stuff. So don't be afraid to pick something that you are learning, because that's what I did, and try your hand at it, because the more you write about that topic, the more you'll be familiar with it, and you'll understand it better. And then you can write about it for other blogs and get paid for it. All right, everyone. So I think that was my journey. If you guys have any more questions, let me see if there are. Oh, my hair is great. Thanks. Thank you, guys. All right. So yeah, there I go. I talked about my niche and stuff. So there you go. So thanks so much for coming, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you later. Bye. Thanks for coming over.